The top 10 movies of finance and economics. The world of high finance can be a highly entertaining and sexy place. That's why Hollywood has been making films about the finance industry for decades. Millions of dollars being made and lost, lives ruined, or going from rags to riches, the subject of finance or the stock market makes big bucks for cinema. Anyone that has ever worked a commission sales job knows that there are certain movies that every salesman, money manager, or stockbroker watches religiously to the point where they can recite every line from memory. Today in this video, we're going to take a look at the top 10 movies of finance and the economy. Before we take a look at these, please take a few seconds and smash that subscribe button, tickle that bell icon, and give us a like. It's only a few seconds of your time, but a lifetime of gratitude from us. Number 10. Boiler Room, 2000.
What's this about?
If you've ever worked in sales or telemarketing, this should seem all too familiar to you. Vin Diesel and Giovanni Ribisi as Long Island pump and dump brokers? Count us in. This classic flick showcases Ribisi's rise to the top as he learns the ins and outs of operating in a boiler room out of Long Island. It's very similar to Jordan Belfort's upbringing, minus the yachts and excessive drug use. In the end, Ribisi must bring down the entire operation to keep himself out of prison, but on his way, he manages to get all the clients back who he had earlier scammed out of their life savings. Side note, in the alternate ending, the customer who was scammed shows up at the boiler room office with a gun and presumably shoots Ribisi.
I don't care what you do anymore.
Just get out of here!
Number 9. Glengarry Glen Ross, 1992. Glengarry Glen Ross takes place off of Wall Street, but still portrays the incentives that salespeople deal with, including bonuses, cars, and doing anything to close the sale. Alec Baldwin is only in the movie for about 10 minutes, but gives a speech that deserves an Oscar to a group of all-star actors,
Siempre estar vendiendo.
including Jack Lemmon, Kevin Spacey, and Ed Harris. Baldwin is most remembered for this line in the movie: "The leads are weak, you're weak." Number 8. Wall Street Money Never Sleeps, 2011.
Incredible week, shares of KZI are down 52%.
I know where the stock is. I have it.
After 20 years had passed, the original Wall Street movie got a sequel in 2010. Oliver Stone returned to direct Michael Douglas as Gordon Gekko again. But this time, Shia LaBeouf and Carey Mulligan also star in this one. In the sequel, Gordon Gekko is free from prison and is working towards redemption at first. But he then works with his future son-in-law, LaBeouf, who is a stockbroker, to rebuild his fortune and take down an enemy on Wall Street. Number 7. Wall Street, 1987. The Oliver Stone classic that got thousands of college graduates to utter the immortal phrase, "Blue Horseshoe loves Anacott Steel," as they rush to their Series 7 exams. Originally crafted to show the excess and hedonism associated with finance, Wall Street still wields incredible power as a recruiting tool for traders, brokers, analysts, and bankers nearly 30 years after it was made. Although the movie serves to warn us about the dangers of insider trading, let's face it, who wouldn't want to be Bud Fox or even Gordon Gekko? Legitimately, of course, and indulge in a bit of our greedy side. After all, as Gekko would say, greed is good. Number 6. Too Big to Fail, 2011.
Every bank they insure books massive losses on the same day.
Bringing an insider's perspective on the financial crisis of 2008, this movie is a realization about the supposed stable world of finance. A blockbuster amongst our list of best stock market movies. Too Big to Fail poignantly impresses upon the mind of the audience how financial corporations and banks are interlinked and working together, and their downfall can result in a disastrous crisis in an economy. The movie reveals shocking truths about how the government that is supposed to regulate the financial system is more often than not unable to do so. Number 5. Margin Call, 2011.
Sir, if those assets decrease by just 25% and remain on our books?
Perhaps the most financially accurate movie on the list, Margin Call takes place over 24 hours in the life of a Wall Street firm on the brink of disaster. modeled closely after some of the large bulge brackets. Margin Call does little to hide its contempt for the reckless risk-taking by some of the largest banks in the run-up to the 2008 financial crisis, such as trading complex derivative instruments they themselves barely understood. An incredible poignant scene of the movie features two main characters talking among themselves about the impending catastrophe that will soon be unleashed upon their bank and the unsuspecting financial landscape, while a janitor stands between them, completely oblivious to what's going on. Number 4. Rogue Trader, 1999.
50 million quid in one day!
One movie that's not necessarily about Wall Street but still focuses on stock trading is called Rogue Trader. The movie came out in 1999 and stars Ewan McGregor as Nick Leeson, an investment broker who bankrupted one of the oldest and most important banks in Britain. And yes, this is a true story, which makes the movie even more fascinating. The story follows Leeson's rogue trading and how he ended up making fraudulent and unauthorized trading moves. From what he did, it led directly to the 1995 collapse of Barings Bank, the United Kingdom's oldest merchant bank, for which he was sentenced to prison. The movie really dives into the stock trader mindset and how things can go horribly wrong. Number 3. The Big Short, 2015. Based on the non-fiction book The Big Short, Inside the Doomsday Machine by Michael Lewis, this movie follows a few savvy traders as they become aware, before anyone else, of the housing bubble that triggered the financial crisis in 2007 to 2008. The movie is known for its clever way to break down sophisticated financial instruments by, for example, having Selena Gomez explain what synthetic CDOs are at a poker table, or having Margot Robbie explain mortgage-backed bonds in a tub with champagne. Number 2. Trading Places, 1983.
My wife ain't gonna make love to me because I ain't got no money, right? So they're sitting there and they panicking, they screaming, sell, sell!
Although financial movies with suspense and true stories are common, sometimes you need a good comedy to lighten up the seriousness of finances. That's where the 1983 movie Trading Places is a nice addition and change to some of the other films on the list. Directed by John Landis and starring Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, the comedy follows the story of an investor and a con artist who have their lives reversed as part of a bet. In the movie, two wealthy individuals that own a brokerage firm go back and forth about whether it's a person's environment or what they inherited in their genes that determines how well they will do in life. So they have a little plan in place to test this theory. Number 1. Wolf of Wall Street, 2013. Naturally, The Wolf of Wall Street starring Leonardo DiCaprio was a given to be one of the best movies about Wall Street, and it's also one of my personal favorites as well. This film follows the true story of Jordan Belfort, who started as a small-time stockbroker and rose the ranks to become one of the wealthiest Wall Street guys in a few years. Naturally, he didn't get to that level in a legal way, and his investment firm was taken down by the federal government. While the movie is embellished for entertainment, many parts of the movie are based on Jordan Belfort's autobiography that he wrote. Besides the entertainment, it serves as an insight into the craziness of Wall Street in the 90s and as a warning about greed. The movie, directed by Martin Scorsese, was nominated for 5 Oscars and other numerous awards. Which of these movies were your favorites? And which ones do you need to watch ASAP? Give us your thoughts in the comments section, then like and subscribe. We'll see you again in the next hit video.